Well, 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 well. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. It's a Monday. Monday, 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 Monday. What's up, Jackson, Mississippi? What's cracking? I hope everybody's doing well. I hope you had a good weekend. You know, some of you celebrated the 4th, some of you did not. But I hope your weekend went well anyway. Despite of all of the mess that's been going around here in Jackson, hey, look, listen. I got a question I want to ask. And it's been on, I did some research this morning, and it kind of brought me to this question. What do you think that can be done to minimize uh, people stay in the Hinds County jail system? What do you think can be done? I mean, because something needs to be done. You know, something needs to be done to be, to combat that. Maybe had those individuals that committed that assault, had they cases been expedited and been tended to the way it needed to been tended to, they probably would have never met up with that fella that they beat up. You see, this is what we talk about. I'm talking about the system. It ain't got nothing to do. I'm not talking about, I don't know them folks. I don't know them folks. I have no clue who them folks is. I don't even know what they look like. What I'm saying is that the system is screwed up. The system's screwed up. So I want to hear your thoughts and comments on that, because, that's a subject that needs to be touched to. How long them folks was locked up before they was getting ready to go, for them to be, if they was under indictment or whatever the case may be or whatever, and they was held in that facility. How long was it gonna be? That's a question, and I personally think it's a good question, because that's what I was wondering when I was reading my information. My question was that these fellas that did this heinous act to this fella and killed him, beat him up and killed him, how long was their stay before they got a chance to see the judge? How long they had been there? We know homeboy just got there. He just got there, took to the Raymond Detention Center. But how long those guys been there? See, system. This is something that needs to be in question with that system. And nobody, it seems to me, nobody is questioning that part. They're only looking at the act of of what had happened. Look, that happens everywhere. That happens up there in Marion, Indiana. Marion, Illinois. That happens up there in Rikers Island. That happens everywhere. It's never broadcast. It's never broadcast. Those types of things happen everywhere. Happens in Victorville, Cali. It happens everywhere. So, but let's talk about the system. The system is what can create a condition that can cause this problem. See, if the system is broken and it creates a condition that can cause this problem, then don't you think that needs to be fixed? Hey, I'm just merely asking a question. Because it seems to me that nobody's asking that question. Maybe I'm the first one to lead the charge on that question that needs to be asked. How long them guys was there? Each one of them. Whoever did this to that fella. How long they was there? Had they been there? See, See, I have been I've been looking at this for a minute. You know what I'm saying? About that detention center, about that jailhouse down there in Raymond, and about how that process worked. Because what raised me an eyebrow on it is when when McMillan had it, and how a lot of those cats that I knew that was down there, though I had family members down there, and they was talking about how it was easy to slip in and out. It was easy to slip in and out the cells. Jokers could come up in your cell or whatever. It was easy. I'm like, yo, what's really going on? You had some folks that was up in there could come home and be on leave for a minute. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm just keeping that a buck. You know, they're not, people are not addressing what needs to be addressed. They need to fix their jailhouse. They need to fix that jailhouse. Get that man some bread so he can actually fix that jail. Either, just like Frank Milk said, either fix it or tear it down. Straight up. Either fix it or tear it down. Because it makes no sense that jailhouse look like that. Get what I'm saying? So, hey. But, you know, hey, people gonna do what they want to do. People gonna do what they want to do. What happened to the labor services that they gave people, you know, when you know, with them inmates, where they, you know, they come out here and clean up the highways, when they come and clean up the local areas. What happened to that? What happened to working off their fines? What happened with that? Oh, I forgot. They had a consent decree on it. What happened with that? What happened to that consent decree? Is it still standing? What's going on with that? See, the victim's family should be asking that question. I am sorry that had happened to your loved one. 100%. I am totally sorry that happened to your loved one. You know, shout out to their families, to the friends. You know, I'm sorry that, you know, that the fella that he allegedly so-called killed here in Jackson. I'm sorry about that family too. My condolences go out to everybody, because there's no win-win deal in this matter. No win-win deal. Then the people who beat them up, you know what I'm saying, in my opinion, they're victims too, because if they wasn't there from the beginning, that would have never happened. How long was their paperwork delayed? See, people are victims in this mess. You know, I don't really like using that word victim, but I can't find no other synonym for it. Maybe I need to research it in my vocabulary and try to find another word for that word victim, because it seems to me that that's exactly what it is. And I'm just calling it out for what it is. How long their paperwork had been delayed? Well, we know them cats is bad, boy. They might have just been pissed off. They might have been pissed off. I don't know what the situation happened. I don't know what was the situation or why they beat that boy to his death. Don't know why. I don't know why. And I'll never know. But only thing I know is I'm just talking about the system. I'm looking at that system. And I'm not harking on what happened, because see, I'm quite sure there's a lot of other things that happen in that jailhouse that the mainstream media ain't gonna talk about. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of other things that goes on that nobody else is talking, that nobody knows. It's a lot of things that's probably going on now that nobody knows. All right. So, you know, but that's what you gotta ask. These are the questions that you gotta ask, resident. You gotta ask that question, resident. You know what I'm saying? Because the mainstream media ain't gonna ask no questions. Only thing they gonna do is they gonna ask questions, and then they gonna poke, and then they're gonna see if you gonna give a different answer. You know, you got some of them. Some of them reporters suck. You know, you got some suckers in that mainstream media. They suck. Cause I saw that interview. I think it was the last press conference that Dr. Brackney and the mayor had. I mean, that guy, whoever that guy was, he was the first runner up to ask a question, and he just kept. And she was like, I know she was getting ticked off with this dude. She was getting ticked off. Nah, bro. You know what I told him? I said, nah, bro, you can go. Holler back. That could have been me. Hey, yo, somebody escort this sucker out get him out my press conference, yo. He asking questions over and over again, and I'm already explaining it, and I'm not finna go through this badgering crap. You know what I'm saying? I'm already tired and frustrated and flustered. Look, next question. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. Look, that could be me, man. That could not be me. You know, I'm not trying to. You know, that guy was being a jerk. I'm just being real. He was being a jerk. So, I mean, you got some of these, like I said, some of these reporters suck. Some of them suck. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of their journalism, man, come on, man, they need to go back to school. Some of them probably ain't been to school. Some of them got their job because they know somebody. How many folks, I bet you it's a large amount of folks that journalism's got them jobs because they know somebody. Especially here in Mississippi. Come on, man. I ain't trying to hit. That's what be going down, son. Nah, that's what be going down. You know what I'm saying? Look. I ain't no journalist. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not. I've never sought out to be a journalist, but this right here is journalism. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, for me, it's like, like I said, it just fell in my lap because, people need to hear from another perspective. Once I figured that once I could get an open platform to drop my jewels and give my perspective on it. Hey, it is what it is. Maybe I can ask the questions that nobody is asking. Maybe I can ask a question that somebody needs to ask that don't know what to ask. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the reason why I was getting in this. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, if there was a platform, because I had been looking at this for a minute. Because, I'm on YouTube, I scroll on YouTube, this, that, whatever. And I'm looking at this little icon says create, you know what I'm saying? And I'm like, and then, it never registered to me that, you could be a content creator, bro. You could make, you know what I'm saying? You could make your, make your voice heard. So, we got a camera. And I have another camera. It's not this camera. I have another camera. It's a camcorder. And I bought it because I figured I was going to do something like this. And I bought a microphone. And I just said, and I kept that thing I kept it in my drawer for years. I kept it in my drawer for years. I was like, I know I'm going to do something with it. I guess that's just, hey, I don't, you call it act of God, whatever you want to call it, whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's a I really believe that that had to be an act of God, because I had no clue. I just bought the camera, I purchased the camera, and I purchased the microphone. So I was trying my best to hook up hook up the camera, but the camera was only a one-way hookup, because it only charges, the cord that they came with it only charges. It didn't, I wasn't able to, connect it to the computer or whatever the case may be. And so I just couldn't, and I still can't figure out that camera. I'm quite sure it's a pretty good camera. I'm quite sure. It's a 1080p, but still, I'm quite sure it's still a good camera, because it's got the it's got the cover on it. It looks very professional. You know what I'm saying? It's got the mic on top. You know what I'm saying? It looks very professional, like a professional camera. So, but I never figured it out. I'm gonna figure it out one day, and I'm gonna put it. So this right here is a 4K, but I'm gonna put it on 1080p so see what it do. Cause it might. I mean, honestly, it might do better. I don't know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, but we're going to try it one day. But anyway, so like I said, I purchased this camera. I purchased that camera, and so all I needed was my ring light, and I did that, boom, boom, and I said, well, let me give this a try. You know what I'm saying? I'm already savvy with with the computers or whatever. And I said, well, boom, I was using a little program, and I was like, boom, this program came up. I was like, oh, okay, boom. And once I saw it, and I saw my face on it, well, I didn't see my face on it, you know what I'm talking about. Once I came up on camera, and I was, I was able to, man, and I just started, and I went into the create, and started looking at the YouTube tutorials on how to create a video. And hey, one thing led to another, and voila, here I am. You know what I'm saying? No assistance. Don't nobody have to get up. Nobody have to walk over here, drive over here. You know what I'm saying? And come help me with this camera situation. I ain't got the, you know what I'm saying? I did this all on my own, set it up and everything. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because, heck, half the folks you find don't know what they doing no way. And then you wind up gotta figure it out yourself. Come on, man. I be making some of these sighted folks look stupid. Man, I had a try to install the operating system on my netbook. I had like a little netbook. I bought it for my daughter, and when she was going to school, and she didn't, so she didn't need it no more. So what I did was I just took it and I started fumbling with it, and I just put, I was like, because being that I can't get into the BIOS, I just said, well, let me just get somebody with some eyesight. Man, somebody with some eyesight to do that mess, man, they couldn't even do it. I want them having to do it. I'm wondering how to install this mess on these computers. So what I'm saying is that a lot of times you can do it yourself. You don't have to depend on nobody to do something. I guess this is what I'm saying. This is not just for me. This is for you. A lot of stuff that you don't think you know how to do, I can guarantee you know how to do. It's just that your limiting beliefs is what taps you out. You know what I'm saying? You tap out with your limited beliefs. If you don't believe in yourself that you can do this, hey, look, I hadn't figured out a way, but I'm gonna figure out a way on how to get into the BIOS. That's the basic operating system that it's like a little miniature operating system that's on your motherboard, on your computer, and that's how you be able to install, turn on your virtual settings, turn on your TPM if you have one on your computer. Those are just so. Even though I don't want my eyesight, I'm still gonna try to figure it out. I hadn't figured it out yet, and I'm still in the process of figuring it out. I've been doing a lot of research about it, and nobody has come up with anything. Not even on the AI systems. Not one. Not one AI system can tell you how can you get into the BIOS being blind. Besides, the only thing they're going to tell you is you need to do something like you need to get somebody some type of an assistance. There's no technology out there. This is how you know even AI is limited in its knowledge. It's limited. So I hear all the doom and glooms and all that mess about AI, man. No. AI is only rich in what it does based on the knowledge that it has. Period. Point blank. Point blank. If you ask a question that they can't that you can't fathom, AI can't fathom it either. Guarantee you that. And that's a fact. It only improves on the knowledge that it has, not on the knowledge that it can't fathom. Do you think AI know anything about dark energy? No. Dark energy ain't been studied in-depthly in order for it to be put on AI. And the little knowledge that it has, it ain't going how it's going to improve on it. It's only going to improve on it through theory. Alright. What's up there in the sky? Man, AI can't fathom that. Because man can't fathom that. AI only going through the knowledge that man has over the history and time that man has been recording. And it just improves through these mathematical equations. Come on, man. What's most likely? Nah, that's all that is. But you put something in front of it that it can't fathom, guarantee you'll shut it down. But anyway, but don't be afraid to get out there. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to be like, yo, I can't do that, but look, we're gonna try it anyway. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's just trying to fool. Some people ain't, you got some folks in certain places have never ate grits before. You got some people in certain places that never ate oxtails before. You know what I'm saying? You got some folks that's never ate curry goat before. You know what I'm saying? All different types of food. But once you try it, be like, it's no sweat. You know what I'm saying? So, that's the same thing, but that's with anything that you do. You know what I'm saying? For me, I don't let nothing stop me from doing what I need to, what I have to do. If I can't do it out there, it will be accomplished in here. If I can't do it out there, it's going to be accomplished in here. You don't have to know I can do it. I know I can do it. I ain't studying you. I don't care nothing about. I'm serious. I'm serious. Because it's like for me, like going on different jobs, applying for these different jobs and things like that. Say although I ain't got no eyesight, people don't want to hire you because you ain't got no eyesight. They figure that you can't do the job, this, that, whatever the case may be. But let me say this, and I'm gonna land my plane on it. And I'm gonna tell you, and this right here is I had contemplated this weekend. And that's not just with me having no eyesight. That's with anything. I don't care what it is. Whether if it's discrimination, whether if it's bigotry, whatever it is, it doesn't make a difference. Anytime there's an adverse action and the person commits it, that is because that's the way they can't see themselves that way. Period. Bottom line. I can't go, of course, I'm not talking about the unreasonable stuff. I'm talking about the reasonable stuff. I can sweep a floor. I can sweep a floor. I can get dishes. I can get the dishes off of a table. All I need is a bus pan, right? But you won't get hired because the hiring person can't see themselves like you. That's the reason why they don't want to hire you. And it doesn't have nothing to do with whether you're disabled or whatever. You're young, you're old, whatever. It doesn't make a difference. The person who turns you down is the reason why they turn you down, because they can't see themselves like that. They can't see themselves. That's why they say, nah, I can't, nah. No, we can't hire you. We can't hire you. And I totally understand that. I can understand you can't see yourself having no eyesight, doing something that you think that eyesight is required. I can see that you not hiring a person because they're young and they don't have no experience, because it takes a person with some type of experience to be able to figure this out. I get that. That's because that's the way you are. That's not the way it is. That is not the way it is. Because I'm gonna tell you something. A fresh mind, and I've learned this when I first drove a 18-wheeler. A man told me this. He said, it makes no sense for them to turn you down because you don't have no experience. Because because it's easier for them to train you to do it their way. Where then you have a person that comes in that already have habits, that's already set in their ways, and you can't tell them nothing. Where is the sense of success in your business when you're dealing with that type of behavior? That's just when he said that, I was like, yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I drive. That's why I drive. That's why I drive. You know what I'm saying? I drive hard for that reason, because I'm like this here. They don't understand that. I don't have no habits. I come onto your job. If you train me to do it your way, how I'm going to deviate? What is there to deviate from? And if I deviate, where am I going to put it? And if I'm going to deviate, if I'm going to deviate, where I'm going to get it from? Make sense. You know what I'm saying? Where am I going to get it from? And if I can't, if I get it, where am I going to put it? I'm doing it your way. I don't know anything else. So this goes out to all of you that's been turned down on a job. Turned down on a job. Looked over like grass. You know what I'm saying? Oh, this sucks. It sucks. But this is for you though. They can't. The reason why they don't do that, the reason why they turn you down, because they can't they can't see you in their eyes. That's all that is. They can't see themselves like you. Period. Point blank. I was looking at something earlier today, this morning rather, and it was talking about how he was saying something about how God said in the Bible something about how he's the only one and there's no other. Well, what about you? What about you? They only made one of you. There is no other. There is no other. When God made you, He made no other. So I mean, let's just look at it like that. When you was birthed one of a kind. And I don't care if you're a twin, because you only come out one at a time. One comes out after the other, and they both look similar, but they're different. I don't care if you're a twin. Doesn't make a difference. They'll never be the same, ever. So that's something that I want you to keep in mind. You know, when you go to be educated, if you're educated and you go to, like I say, trying to get a job or whatever it is you're trying to do, and somebody tell you no, guess what? Keep moving. Keep moving. Because you got to look at them differently. You look at them and say, oh, well, look here, that's because they can't see themselves. Like, you know what I'm saying? They can't see themselves the way I am. So, plain landed on that one. Plain landed. Oh, but yeah, Jackson, I just wanted to come on here and kind of really wanted to talk about, I really want to talk about this system, because this system is, is very, very, they have problems. It's very questionable, and you have to question it. And that's not just with the jail system. It's with the justice system. It's with everything. You need to question it. Look at what the state is already trying to do. Look at what the state is doing. Because they can guarantee you this. They're going to mess it up. If they take it over, they're going to mess it up. How many state jails you know of it's ran right? I don't know that many. I don't know that many. Them state jails is trash. So, but that's it for me. I just wanted to come on here. I came on here this morning. It's Monday, baby. You know what I'm saying? It's Monday, and we're gonna work it out. You know what I'm saying? We got this whole rest of this week to you know what I'm saying, to figure something out, whatever. And I hope everything goes well with you and the rest of this week. I hope whatever it is that you're looking for, searching for, I hope you find it. I hope it blesses you in a mighty way. And until the next time, we'll see you. Stay up, stay strong, and stay encouraged.